I have already cooked them. I did cook them a while ago, but then I put them back in my freezer. So I'm just going to pour some hot water over it, and then also pour some as well on the locust beans and soak for just about a minute and then wash off. Now onto my pepper mix, and for this I will be using some onions, scotch bonnet peppers, bell peppers, chili, that's the smaller shumbo, and also some paprika peppers, that's the long bell peppers. So and there's something that I learned recently that I thought I'd share with you. If I'm making soups now, I prefer to use and that's because I feel like it makes my soup a bit watery, and I'm trying to avoid that, and also it takes a while to fry. So after doing that, I'm just going to cover and then blend. And after blending, this is the ideal texture, well, for me anyway. So I'm just going to set this aside. Now it's time to prepare my egusi, and I'm just going to throw that in my blender, cover and blend until very fine. Onto the vegetable leaves, you can use pretty much anything you want. You can use ugu, shoko, uziza, bitter leaves, pretty much anything, spinach as well. But I will be using ugu, and can you believe I got this ugu about 4 days ago and it's still fresh? Well, let me tell you something I learned. So I took a rack and I placed it over a tray and then put the leaves on top. So every day I will just sprinkle with water like twice a day, and this has helped it to retain its color and it's still fresh. So it's something that I learned at the market, and I thought that I would share this with you as well. Anyway, so I will proceed to begin to pluck this. I will just be using the scissors because it's just much better that way. Ugu can be really tough, and I'm just going to pluck this off camera. After plucking the leaves, I will transfer them into a bowl and then pour some boiling water over the leaves. And this I won't be blanching because I know I did that with my eforiru recipe, and that's because I use spinach, and spinach is quite watery, so I won't be doing that on this occasion. And I'm just going to wash this as much as I can and then leave to soak for, say, just about 2 minutes. And then I will transfer this into my colander just to, you know, to sieve. In this process, I will repeat once again, and that's just so I'm able to get rid of as much dirt and debris or germs that's on the leaves. And because honestly, if you don't do this, you might just end up with an upset stomach, because you never know what's on those leaves. And considering how much they have traveled, I really don't trust them at all. And after washing thoroughly, I will transfer them onto my chopping board and begin to slice. So usually with ugu, I tend to use really small pieces, but because this is a egusi soup and I don't need too much vegetables, so I'm okay with doing bigger chunks. But please feel free to do whatever size that you prefer. And afterwards, I'm just going to transfer them into a bowl and then set aside for use later. And now we're back to the egusi. I'm just going to transfer it into a bowl and add some crayfish powder. I'm also going to add just a little bit of warm water and then mix until I get a very thick paste. Now you can also add some blended onions as well, because this makes it more flavorful, but I just don't feel like on this occasion. I know some people also add eggs or something because it's supposed to make it lumpy. I've never tried that before because I've been asked about it a couple of times. I don't use eggs at all, and I'm not making lumpy egusi anyway. So I'm just going to set this aside for use later, but this is just me just showing you just how thick the consistency is. And after doing that, I'm just going to place a pan on medium heat, and when it heats up, I will be adding some palm oil. I know some people are thinking, all this oil, let God be judge, please. Anyway, and now I'm going to add some chopped onions, and this I'm going to fry for about 2 minutes. Please don't fry for too long, otherwise your soup is going to end up too sweet. Remember that egusi is sweet on its own already. And then after that, I will be adding some locust beans, and I will fry this again for just about 2 minutes as well, just to release the fragrance, just to release the aroma of the locust beans. I'm not going to re-record this part at all, just manage it. And then I will go in with some crayfish powder. Please do not fry your crayfish for more than 30 seconds, otherwise it's going to taste bitter and it will ruin the taste of your soup. I know I sound like a broken record now because I keep saying this in all of my soup videos, and that's because they all have the same base in the same prep. Anyway, I'm going to add my pepper mix now, and also add some stock cubes and salt. And this I will mix thoroughly. Oh, I almost forgot. I will be adding my stockfish at this time, and that's because it's pre-cooked, but it's not as soft as I want it to be. So I'm just going to add it quite early, and then just mix thoroughly. Cover and leave to fry for about 25 to 30 minutes, but please check on it every now and then so it does not burn. And after 30 minutes, this is what my stew looks like. As you can see, the oil has settled onto the top, and that's to let you know that it is quite dry at the moment. And then I'm just going to stir, and that's just to raise up whatever burnt bit, but I don't think mine has burnt at all. And to this, I will be adding my meat. I will also be adding some pomo. I forgot to mention earlier that I had some in my freezer, so I'm just going to add that to it and mix thoroughly. And this I will leave to fry for about